All right, a few more slides and we'll wrap it up and call it a day. Maybe not a day. Maybe you have more studying to do. It's never enough studying. Just get it done. You got this. Let's talk about the impact of charitable contributions, deduction, and DRD on NOL. Now, a lot of this is what we've been talking about thus far, but if something's important, I like to beat it to death. Make sure there is no room for discrepancy. A corporation's charitable contributions deduction and DRD can impact the NOL a corporation can take during a tax year. Here's how each of these deductions can influence the NOL calculation. First, we've got the charitable contributions deduction. So for calculating NOL, if a corporation has positive taxable income before considering the NOL, charitable contributions, and DRD, then the charitable contributions deduction can reduce the taxable income and potentially increase the NOL. If the taxable income before considering these items is already negative, the charitable contributions deduction will not have any impact on the NOL calculation for the current year. Again, I know we've seen this already in this lesson. This is just something I want to make sure we really beat to death and you're aware of. For the DRD, when it comes to NOL calculation, the DRD can have a direct impact on the corporation's taxable income. When a corporation receives dividend income and takes the DRD, it reduces the taxable income, which in turn may increase or decrease the NOL. If the corporation already has a positive taxable income, the DRD can potentially increase the NOL by reducing the taxable income further. Conversely, if the corporation has a negative taxable income, the DRD can decrease the NOL by offsetting part of the loss. Now, in summary, the impact of a corporation's charitable contributions deduction and DRD on the net operating loss depends on the corporation's taxable income before considering all of those items, and these deductions definitely have a significant impact on operations. All right, we got another example here. Boy, do we love examples. Stay with me, we love examples. Oh, yes, we do. Let's consider a C Corp named Corp ABC. Just in general, for the exam, if it just said, let's consider a corporation, by default, you consider a C Corp. It would have to specify S Corp. So that's just kind of some of the tricks they don't tell you. I mean, just on the exam. So stuff like that. Like if it just said corporation, again, we would just assume corporation, C Corp. But here, it just tells us it's a C Corp. So we got Corp ABC. It's got the following financial data. So gross income, business expenses, charitable contributions, dividends received, and the DRD. Now let's calculate the net operating loss, which that one's pretty straightforward. We got a $50,000 NOL because we had more business expenses than gross income. Next up, we're going to calculate the charitable contributions deduction. Now, in general, a C Corp, as we've seen, can deduct charitable contributions up to 10% of its taxable income before considering the NOL, charitable contributions, and DRD. However, since the taxable income before this is negative, the corporation cannot deduct any charitable contributions this year. The unused of this can be carried forward up to 5 years. Next, for the DRD, well, what would that be? We have the 50% deduction, so $50,000 in dividends times 50% is $25,000. The taxable income after the DRD we would see is going to be $25,000. And then our NOL, well, since the taxable income after the DRD is negative, the corporation has a net operating loss of $25,000. Now, in this example, the charitable contribution deduction did not have an impact on the NOL because we had negative taxable income before considering those items. The dividends received deduction, on the other hand, reduced the corporation's net operating loss from $50,000 to $25,000. We do need to recognize those dividends, but not all of them because we have that deduction. All right, we got a nice recap here on just all of those items to memorize. Again, please just memorize it. It's going to make it so much easier. I know a lot of people don't like memorizing items. Once you've got it, you got it. And what's done is done. So you will knock it out of the park. Please just memorize it. It's kind of like going into the exam with a textbook. You don't have to think about it. Because once you've got it memorized, then you can worry about the tricks, and trying to get through the question, and everything they'll throw at you. And here's a nice little recap on the DRD as well. Feel free to take a look, take a screenshot. Something like this will be on our memorization guide as well. Keep it up. You got this. Let's wrap it up with a nice summary and call it a day. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of cpa.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because Who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.